Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nifty Nuggets Drive-Thru. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel and like this video. If you want to find more information about us, you can follow us on Twitter @NuggetsNifty. And you can also download this episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We hope you enjoy the AMA.
Everyone to this AMA with the project Anime Metaverse. We have two people, Prima and Lax Hoodie from the project. And what we like to start the AMAs with is just a bit of background on both of you. Maybe if you could start off with Prima with your background, tell us a bit about yourself, and then we'll get on to the project.
For sure, yeah. So my name is Prima. I've been in the NFT space kind of new. I started in December, so not like any type of expert at all, but trying to navigate space and understanding and connecting. And I was so lucky to be a part of Anime Metaverse somewhat early in the process. And through their framework, I was able to climb the ranks, I guess, up to the level where I am today, where I am a part of the bridge committee and a mod and a speaker for the team and for Anime Metaverse. So, yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, hey, my name's Lax Hoodie. I'm also relatively young in both sense in the space and, in real life, that I kind of just gained the confidence, through Anime Metaverse to speak with a large crowd of people, to speak for AMAs, to do all kind of talks, to understand the thought process that everyone's having. And I love meeting new people, and that is the best way to for you to actually create a foster community, to understand that where everyone's coming from, just being able to talk, be willing to talk to people. And I'm also part of the bridge community and also a mod in Anime Metaverse.
So you said the bridge community?
Committee, yeah.
Community, okay. Is that
into
outreach or is that the same?
So I can give you a little bit clarification, right? Bridge committee is one of our OG Genesis committees that are people from the Genesis community who are able to apply to and use their skills and do analysis of projects, outreach, right? And obviously we were able to reach you to one of our members, Sway, who will also give analysis on your project, and and then we go from there. So it's basically an internalized, we do outreach, we do analysis, we do speaking, AMAs, we do all those kind of stuff, right? Just internally for ourselves.
Okay,
yeah. Built by the community members.
Yep, I understand. So, Anime Metaverse, tell me about how the project started.
Yeah, so Anime Metaverse started as a, as the founders, Soulmaker Lily's idea to create a decentralized shonen jump to kind of bring, anime brands into Web3 and help them, foster a very great community and basically create within an ecosystem. And the reason, and then we have brought on our other founders, Kendrick, who is an entrepreneur, right? He's an angel investor, crowned by Amazon. He's part of the Amazon Web Service. He has sold multiple companies. He's part of the Asia's Forbes 3030. He has the technical background as well. He was in the early ICO days, the crypto backgrounds, to help lead our project forward, and we are very well thought out in the way we move on. We also have, So Weirder, our writer who's a award-winning screenwriter, and she does lore and our writing and those kind of stuff as well. Those are just to name a few. We still also have Peter Dewis, who's the ex-president of Burberry Japan and Korea, and so he was able to connect us with the anime brands as well as do merchandise for us. That's just a couple of the members.
Okay, so you've got a pretty powerful team there, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you say bringing anime brands into Web3.
Yep.
What would that process look like if you had an existing Web2 anime brand and you say, okay, we're going to bring you into Web3? What would that process be?
Would you like to answer, Prima? Sorry, I unmute your mic.
Sure, let's I can try and answer it to the best of my ability. First of all, we don't, Web3 is still so early that we don't necessarily know and understand all the utility that Web3 and blockchain technology will bring in the future. So, we have to be careful about saying exactly what all the services and all the utilities of the Shonen Jump will be in this space. But certainly what we're aiming to be is leading into helping, as you said, Web2 anime, both established ones and newer ones, to connect to their audience through the Web3 stage. And what can that entail? That could be everything from helping them create the NFT collection, taking the right steps there, helping them with the designers and the graphic designers and the rendering and everything, so they don't have to hire someone to do the 3D art or whatever they need to do in order to create that collection. And just helping them with all the technical parts in terms of the blockchain technology and everything that surrounds creating an NFT collection. That's a simple thing that we definitely want to help out different brands with. But Shonen Jump, first of all, is to help newer artists, connect in the space, and in the Web2 sphere, a Shonen Jump is to lift up new mangas and to lift up new series. Jujutsu Kaisen and other very popular ones came through a Shonen Jump. So we also want to lift up new anime shows. And you can imagine in the future, when the metaverse games are more developed and the technology is there, anime companies want to connect with their audience. That's obvious, and that's why so many people love anime today, right? We love anime because we're connecting to the characters on a very deep and emotional level, I would say. And if you can suddenly interact with what you have connected with on a Web3 space in a metaverse, it has very strong value to that. So, that's the moonshot, or our long-term goal, is to help anime companies connect to their audience on a deeper level. And the imagination is we have to imagine a little bit, right? Because we don't necessarily know exactly how everything is going to look like in the future, but it's definitely a very, very interesting topic. And we want to be leading in terms of being like delivering transmedia content in the Web3 space. Exactly all of the different things that could be is, as I said, it's hard to say, but like looking at Disney and how they do it in the Web2 space today with parks and IPs and clothes and brands and everything, we want to try and aim to be that leading company and that leading project that can deliver transmedia content on the Web3 platform.
Okay.
Yeah, I think to add a little bit more, right, is because I know someone asked in the audience, right, what makes you, what makes an anime brand or show pick you over, over competition or doing it themselves, right? I think it's just something that, competition is good for the space and also good for us to basically strive for us to innovate. But since we are going to be, the first, we have the first player advantage, as well as that you have seen anime companies trying to launch their NFT projects by themselves, right? It's really hard for them just because they don't really know how to market, how to foster community, and how to, do a lot of the Web3 design, smart contract, right? And those kind of stuff, right? We, help them do that by letting them do our ecosystem where we're able to help them deliver, help them create a community, and share with us, our a pre-established community that is, strong and to be established to help them spread their word and accommodate new players coming into the space.
Okay, you mentioned that one of your founders was president of Burberry Japan. Is most of your
Burberry Japan? Yes.
is most of your team from Japan or Asia?
Yes, most of our team is from Asia.
Okay, so that's already a great start because obviously you have the connections, the language, and everything.
Yeah.
Support that.
And to let you guys know a little bit, yeah, I know our founders is going to Japan, and is coming up to go to Japan to talk to anime companies person to person, because it's generally the etiquette of the Japanese to do business face to face. So that's going to happen. To just let a little bit sneak peek for you guys.
Okay. So as I understand it, you already have a Genesis section on Opensea, right?
So this is in a way, but it's a 5,000 collection, right? But we included the Genesis into the same collection, right? So our minting process, we do about 97 OGs every single week, right? Because we are doing a very unique process of minting, it's where the OGs mint first and kind of set, give the floor price and give the confidence to the rest of, the community to mint as well. And so currently we just finished wave 2. We have about 200 minted, 13 101 legendaries sold for 100,000 USD each. And after our OGs mint, we will have our pink list to mint.
You just said 100,000
USD each.
Okay.
Right. So I can elaborate a little bit on that part too. We did it differently, as Lax said, and it was a little bit to get on or to onboard some talented people and some resourceful people onto the team. And we did that by selling one-on-one legendary Rikas, one of the main characters of the lore within AM. And we sold each one for $100,000 or 100,000 USDC. So for those of you that go into our Opensea right now, you will see that the volume that is traded is only those legendary ones, token ID 1 and up to 11 or 12, I believe.
13.
13, right? And it was a vetting process, right? It was a lot of people on that wait list, a lot of VCs, a lot of resourceful people wanted to be a part of that and buy one of those Rikas for the long term with a very thorough clause. But we chose, or the founding team chose, people out of the waiting list that believed or that were thought to bring the most value to us in terms of resources and in terms of helping us getting into the door of the anime sphere and the business aspect of things. So yeah, that was why we did that, and it's quite a unique process for sure.
I see you have 186 items in the collection and 176 unique owners, and about 11 items actually for sale. So those are very bullish numbers, actually.
Right. So, it's no, sorry to interrupt, but this, as Lax said, the mint process is divided into different phases, and the first phase that happened last Wednesday was the first 97 Genesis OG members of the community, very highly valued members that has been voted through a process. They were allowed to mint the first 100 Rikas, and obviously those people are long-term holders and not flippers, most likely. And we, as a funny thing, and to show the strength of the Genesis OG community, we listed it initially for 69 ETH or for 2069 or whatever, just to not to try to manipulate the floor price or anything, but just to show the strength of the community and that we didn't want to sell it right away. Now, the second wave of the Genesis OG mint, another 100 Genesis OG members has minted. And we're starting to see some of the Genesis OG members maybe wanting to flip. But, whatever they want to do, it's up to them.
Yeah, I mean, was it? I think I understand that too. It's just, was it? Everyone has their own circumstances and everyone has their own sell price, and we just be very understanding of it, and we give them the best wishes on where they go from now.
That's quite interesting because Nuggets actually, it's one collection at the moment, but we're minting in batches, so it's a similar process. Could you give us more details about the different stages of minting within that collection, and the when and what the mint prices are or will be?
Sure, I can start at least. So yeah, as mentioned, and this is something that we really want to talk a little bit more about, and how the pink list framework is set up, and how you become a pink listed member, a whitelisted member, and how you become a Genesis OG. But so yeah, the Genesis OGs are minting first, and that started last Wednesday, and the first wave has already revealed. It revealed this morning, so you can actually see some of the Rickas in the collection being revealed, and you can see Lax Hoodie's PFP is probably one of the rarest ones in my opinion. But yeah, so they were revealed, and obviously it's a very new thing, right? Usually we wait till everybody is minted and then you reveal. So yeah, this is fun. And then the second wave is minting right now. Another about 100 Genesis OGs were allowed to mint this morning. So you can see there is a total of 186 items on the on Opensea right now, and yeah, so, and it's a total of about 220 Genesis OG members in the Discord server. So that means that there is going to be about 250 more or less Rickas or Genesis OG mints that are not going to be minted by anyone, and those are going to be stored in the treasury of the project for later use. And then when all of the Genesis OG members has minted, then the pink list members are going to mint the week after, and they are going to mint at the same mint price of 0.25 ETH. They're going to mint the remaining 4,500 in the collection, and they're going to mint any of the other 4 characters of the lore. So Ricka is our main character and the architect of the Anime Metaverse and the main figure, and then we have some other characters that the pink list members can mint. So obviously there is a little bit more scarcity of the Ricka characters, a little bit more utility when it comes to the ecosystem, but for sure the other characters are also highly amazing.
Yeah,
They all female?
All female.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll leak a bit. This is one of our other 4 characters, Minami. Right, so we have 4 others, is Minami, Kyoko, Kumi, and Saki. Right, and we have our very expensive lore and lore chronicles white paper, right? And we do write all these lore, some from a community and some from our committee members, some from our from Marcel, and where you're able to read them right now in from our chronicles anthology, as well as we also have a couple episodes of 2 chapters of the webtoon coming out, or it came out actually for you to read.
Compliments on the art. Could you tell me more about the artist?
We have we rather than as a single artist, we have a team of modelers, right? That also, and as well as our founder, Lily, Soulmaker, comes from an art background, and she does do some of the art and design, as well as the committee members. The vetting committee are able to help decide what traits and what is the best looking on certain characters, right? And and then we get to see the entire process of the creation of the art, and then we give our feedback, and then our modelers and our artists will accommodate and try to fix that at a discretion. Obviously, if we give a very strong opinion in regards to that.
Okay, so just to summarize, you're having, is it 3 phases in total? The first 2 have already happened, and the next one's the pink list, which where you'll be able to mint the rest of the NFTs, correct?
Correct. So we have Legendary Sale, the OG mint in about OG mint in waves. Once all the OG mints is pink list.
And the pink list, can you remind me the date? Sorry, I missed that.
There's no really exact date, just whenever OG finished minting. So probably in about 3-4 weeks.
Okay, great. So, as a holder of one of these NFTs, what do you perceive as the main value? Say,
It's go ahead first, Lax. I can
you
elaborate.
can go ahead. I'm looking for the sneak peek.
All right. Yeah, so holding one of these soulmates, we call the NFTs of this collection soulmates. You get access to the ecosystem within Anime Metaverse. In long term, the actual metaverse is where you get the most, I guess, utility. For those of you listening, if you go on our website on animemetaverse.ai and go to our chronicles, you will get, that's our white paper, as Lax mentioned earlier. You will get a little bit more insight into what your NFT can do in the metaverse. So just to mention a little bit, you are a citizen of the world called the Alpha Solus, and these soulmate NFTs will be able to upgrade their traits through staking activities, yielding something we call for fun points, and you can get items. And all of this is based around this starburst crystal. And the starburst crystal in the lore is a crystal that is supposed to, or that gives you anima tokens through positive engagement. And that is kind of the whole key with this, I think, in my opinion. They are creating a framework where they are putting emphasis on engagement and organic engagement. And that is through different activities. And this can be karaoke escapades where you do different things and get valuable souvenirs, education. You can go to these universities and learn things, prayers, excavation, pets. There's so many different activities that the metaverse and the ecosystem will do in the future that generates anima tokens that you can again use for other things in the universe. And yeah, now Laxity posted another sneak peek in Anime Metaverse AMA chat. She is hot. She's hot. But yeah, so
Man, she's
that's
one of the other four characters too.
That's long term wise, but we're definitely building a short term ecosystem that will be released in a very short period in a short period very soon, where you can engage with the ecosystem on different things, and we will create a playable game that is soon to come out, at least an alpha and a beta version to holders. That is been being developed with very interesting guy in the front. What's his name again? His ex-CEO of Riot Games.
Yeah, Geno.
Right.
Yeah, so he will be joining us as part of the game development team, as well as to add on to that, we're going to have anime conventions that we plan and host. The first one that is going to be hosted is going to be through online, and where we invite speakers from anime companies, artists, manga artists, and all those kind of stuff to come to an online convention with us, where we are bridging Anime Metaverse, NFTs, fashion, and anime, right, all together. And then we're gonna have a booth to explain what we do, and kind of also to promote some of the speakers and to get them interested and their audience into NFTs and into Anime Metaverse.
So you mentioned a game and a metaverse. Is the game within the metaverse, or is it separate?
It's two different games, honestly. So the first game that we will be able to use soon is a 2D kind of gacha game that is coming up closely. Now, a metaverse game takes a very long time to develop, and that's what we call our moonshot, or our long-term goal. We are working on it as we speak, but that's something that we have to wait a little bit for. So 16 to 18 months or so, right? Where that is fully developed. That we will slowly release a little bit more and more and more over time. But that's our moonshot for sure.
Yeah, and obviously it takes a lot to develop that, and we want to have like Prima said, like 2D developed game, like a gacha system, to be able to utilize all the staking functions, use the activities as we release them, right? So you are still getting the utilities, but you're not getting the full experience until we are able to have a AAA game for you.
Right.
So am I right in assuming you're going to be focusing on developing the metaverse, and at the same time focusing on the Shonen Jump, or bringing the anime from Web 2 into NFT collections? Is that correct?
Right.
Yes. So we will be bringing them into our ecosystem, into our metaverse, and we'll be launching them, via our platform of Anime Metaverse. Right. We help them develop it. We get us loyalties, and a section of it, we also they get an island to themselves where our soulmates NFTs are able to explore the lore, then interact with the characters, and do specific activities that we have created for them, and also gain use those tokens to buy merchandise, to get and those kind of stuff.
Okay, great. So quite a few questions from the audience. So I'm going to start going through those.
Yep.
Some of them have been asked already, but what do you think would make anime shows pick you guys over competition or doing it themselves?
That's the one I have answered earlier.
Okay.
I said his question.
Okay, then the next one. Did you already secure any top tier anime collab?
Currently, we are in our it's not really in discussion. It's more like they're under NDA.
Okay.
Our founders are under NDA, but we have I can't say we wouldn't say top tier, but I would say like 3 medium to high tier collaborations is in the talks at the moment. We are not able to to know who, because our founders is under NDA.
Yeah, and as we said, Soulcatcher or Kendrick is going to Japan in a couple of weeks to work more towards the anime brands and
talk to them face to face.
Right.
Okay. And so, what is the estimated timeline on delivering the NFT utilities?
Tomorrow.
Depends
on which one.
Right. You've got 5 of them listed on the website. You've got the metaverse, the soulmates tokens, and merchandise.
I can give a timeline to majority of them, except for I think the last one. Right, Metaverse ready do the avatars. Our avatars are already are basically done. Right, we just need to once everyone's finished minting, and we have our metaverse developed, we're able to just slot them right in. Right, but that is obviously waiting for the metaverse to be done. Finishing and those kind of stuff. And the LP tokens are expected to launch, I believe, during or after OG Mint or during Pinkless Mint. Is that correct, Prima? If I remember correctly?
Yeah, it's very, very close. We can't. There's always going to be some delays. We never set a date necessarily, but it's definitely very close. So
I would say during or right after minting.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And their access, to get to our initial ecosystem will also be right after mints. And merchandise, we already have secured the merchandise line with. Oh wait, I almost said the brand. With a couple companies.
No one's listening. You can mention it.
We're just They're just waiting for us to finish minting before we roll out the merch.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just to mention, it's just to mention the team here, Peter Thewlis, as we said, is ex-president of Burberry Japan. And then we also have Deborah Langley. She's a venture partner at Lyra Ventures and ex-president of DKNY Jeans International. So we have a very strong team behind us in terms of the merch line. And that's something that's going to roll out very quickly because it's already ready. So
yeah. I think to add a little bit onto that, to give our audience a little bit sneak peek, because you guys are super excited about this, and I just want to give you guys a little bit more. Prima's gonna repent me later, but I'm gonna go with this for now. Our partner project, our sister project, and Fungible already have about three fashion brands, large fashion brands already lined up, and they already invested into the Fungible, and we are basically in the same ecosystem as well. Right.
Fungible.
Yep.
Okay, so anyone in the audience can maybe do some research and find out which brands those are. Okay, sounds great. And you're going to have, I guess, images of some of the NFTs on the clothing.
Yeah,
correct? Or
that's for Fungible, correct?
Okay.
I can show you the Fungible monkey.
Okay.
And you're leaking.
I'm leaking stuff, okay? I'm leaking stuff. Okay, this is the Fungible monkey, where you're also able to see some more of our team members, and a lot of them are very, very strong in the in the fashion world, and they're able to have the connections to that as well. We have a very strong Web 2 presence and Web 0 presence, right? So we are able to leverage that and just bring them into Web 3, right? We're starting with the base and just building Web 3 on top of it.
Yeah, it's such an interesting project. Not that we're going to talk about Fungible today, but when lags are leaking, this they're trying to rethink how IP is created and owned, and obviously with blockchain and with Web3 ownership is it's taking a leap into some new innovations that we don't necessarily completely understand, but fashion and Web3 it seems to be a very, very interesting combination, and that's something that Fungible. Right, that's something that we're just trying to put together in a very good way. And if you look on the Fungible website, nfungible.xyz, you can look at the team and the advisory board there. And yeah, it's bullish. And just to say that, the OGs that are minting Rickas, those that are out on Opensea today, they do have some utility that are also connected to the Fungible project. That is also.
I'm not going to say anymore. No more.
I'm done.
Okay, but thanks for those leaks. Right, I'll move on with the questions here. What was the mint price that the OGs were minting for? 0.25.
0.25. Oh, wrong link. Okay, 0.25 for everyone.
Okay. Yeah. Ramon says, in the Chronicles, you guys talk about community-led initiatives. In what extent is this community involved in the decision-making or simply in promoting development ideas? How will this be executed?
So I can start just to give my personal story and what made me so bullish on this, and it's super related to the question, which I think is one of the most important parts of this project. When I came in, it was always interesting to see how you get a pink list and whitelist, and you always ask. And they had a setup of you had to collect 5 passes that represents the different values of the project. And when you get 5 passes out of 7, you automatically get the pink list pass or the pink list roll. Now, when you get that, you are able to get into the Genesis OG by just engaging with discussion, in our ideals talk, where we discuss different topics that are related to Anime Metaverse, related to the NFT space, or other things that can help lift Anime Metaverse further. And the founding team really really listens to what people are saying and taking on a lot of different ideas. And the whole idea with the mint process was something that was actually community led in the beginning. So for me, I got the pink list like 1.5 months ago now, maybe. So I was a regular guy just trying to get in the whitelist kind of. And then I just got so bullish on Anime Metaverse, and I was just sitting in the ideals chat and talking to other members and discussing how Anime Metaverse is different and how they can do better and what I think about this. And then suddenly I was nominated to become a Genesis OG by other Genesis OG members. And Genesis OG members can apply to take part of any of the committees. And we've mentioned this a little bit. And there's different committees. There's the Bridge Committee, which I'm a part of with Lax, where we take these external AMAs to bring awareness to the project, and we analyze other projects out there to figure out which projects that we want to be related to. So Nifty Nuggets is definitely one that we want to be related to. And then we have the nominating committee that nominates other Genesis OGs, and then we have the vetting committee that actually looks through the NFT collection and do the quality check and helps Lily and the designers helping them design the NFT, really. So a lot of the NFTs that are out there right now is actually more or less inspired by Genesis OG members. And then we have the festival directors that are working with the team on creating the anime convention.
I'm somewhat part of it.
I mean, that again, I see many parallels between your project and Nuggets. We also have a large staff, and there are different departments for different tasks, and it sounds very similar indeed. I'm sure after the AMA, our collab team will be talking to you guys and seeing what's next for us.
Yes.
And so as Q, there's a question, when whitelist for Nuggies? Pink list, isn't it?
Yeah, pink list. Was it? I think is however you guys want to give out. I believe we have discussed how many we are giving out.
Okay, I think normally what we do that it's decided and it's going to be raffled later. But,
it's up to you guys how you guys deal with the whitelist. We have for pink list you have given them a couple to for them to raffle.
I'm just watching the chat now go by, and people are very very keen to get pink listed. School. So I have a question for you. After mint, it's 2 years down the road. Where do you see the project actually being?
In about 1 year?
1 or 2 years down the road.
Oh, 2 years is a long time in the NFT space, right? If you in about 2 years, Azuki might not be there, right? It's even that is very uncertain. But in the trajectory we're going with the brands we are collabing, we are going to have our, game ready and our kind of like metaverse kind of fully running, and already with a couple partners, at least maybe a dozen anime partners that we have brought into the space, and then that they can just branch out, right, to have kind of to kind of have the kind of like the household name of being the anime metaverse, right? So when you see that we are just gonna kind of absorb a lot of the anime brands into our Web3 ecosystem, so we will be the launchpad for all those.
It's we want to bring media utility to our partners, right? We want to be a company and a project that delivers transmedia content in the Web3 space, and how that's going to look like in 2 years is hard to exactly say, but it's definitely more than just interacting with people on TV ads and banner ads on Facebook ads, right? It's more than that in the Web2. It's about how the audience can interact with Anime Metaverse, how the audience of different anime brands can interact. You can imagine, and this is my personal opinion, it's not coming from the team, but you can imagine at some point that you can put on your VRs or your AR glasses or whatever the metaverses will be, and interact with your favorite anime shows in a completely new way instead of looking through right.
Yeah, maybe you have like a Naruto, extra Jujutsu Kaisen crossover or whatever, right? And then also whenever technology gets good enough, where you have very intuitive AIs that are able to kind of interact with you like a human being. It might seem scary to some, but it's a technology that we're going towards, right?
Right.
As well as because we're so new to the space, we are kind of like the driving force of innovation, because we have a desire and a need for this kind of for technology. It's going to get the funding and foster and just kind of just bring the entire technology sector up a notch, right? And I think also in my personal opinion, what a metaverse has to be socially, economically, and it has to be interactive, right? It has to be socially sustainable, where there has to be enough new inflow of people where people are able to interact and relax, right? And next one is economically sustaining, right? There has to be, maybe small businesses, maybe like some gastronomy, like restaurants that are able to link with real life stuff, right? And just to name a few, to be economically sustainable, as well as to be sustainable by tokens, as well as to uh, also be interactive, because you want a metaverse to be built upon Web 2, and to build upon Web 2, you need a communication factor.
I totally agree. I see that Swing is saying maybe these guys can secure real Naruto licensing.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows?
So, an interesting question. You're bringing anime into Web3. Are you thinking about taking the collection and the characters you've created and bringing that into not Web 2, but maybe producing some manga or something for that?
Yeah, we do have a webtoon or manga that already have been created. 2 episodes have been out, made by a webtoon committee, and we are looking to create to continue that, and later down the line to have interactions between these kind of medias as well.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask I'm just looking, see if there's any further questions from the audience. Meanwhile, is there anything we haven't covered so far?
Well, one of the things that I want to talk about at least is, Kendrick Wong, one of the main founders that came on when Lily pitched it to him. He spit it in $3 million out of his own wallet, pre-mint, pre-everything. So yeah, and for the Anime Metaverse was very hyped just when they launched or revealed, I guess back in like late January, and their Twitter blew up and everything blew up because it was kind of like the meta, I guess, with anime at the point in time. And they kind of shut
strong team too.
Right, and they kind of just shut everything down. They closed their Discord, they stopped tweeting too much and everything because they wanted to control the hype. Obviously we do appreciate hype, we do appreciate higher floor prices, but the team recognizes that hype is very hard to control.
Not sustainable as well.
Not sustainable. And we want to build the floor price based on our actions and based on what we deliver and not what we are promising. And that's why they closed the Discord and pretty much stopped tweeting. And And slowly now we're just opening up and doing some outreaches, to communities like you guys, just to start externally outreaching again. But again, also to control how much hype we get, because we want to become
marketing.
popular based on our actions, not based on some nice marketing campaign.
Yeah, I mean, it's also to add on to that, right? Type is, very unsustainable. It just like was a Prima said, right? Then we want to start by having a strong community, and with a strong community, we're able to do anything, right? Without a strong community, you don't have, a project without. All it is if it's just all hype, the people is not gonna stay. They're just gonna, come and go, right? And so that's why they close and just foster what they have, and then just, once they have everything done, like the white paper, the chronicles, right, and those kind of stuff, like finished and have the roadmap basically fully fleshed out, and and what they're going to deliver, then we do outreaches like to you guys and to create, marketing and awareness rather than, just blind hype.
Okay. And so you mentioned that $3 million, I guess it's kind of venture capital you've received.
I think that's from his own wallet.
Yeah, that's from Kendrick Wong's own money.
That's just from his own money.
Yeah.
And so obviously he's got conviction in the team, and it sounds that you've got really a team with a lot of experience in doing business in the real world, right?
Correct.
Right.
And that's a very powerful thing that's going to help you connect to these real
large
world
brands.
companies.
For sure. Important. Very important.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not to, talk about on any project. I'm not gonna name any, right? You see a lot of projects, build their NFTs first, right? And then, try to secure a partnership with, real life brands, right? And sometimes it falls out and it doesn't happen. But if you start with the Web2 and the partnership and build a NFT on top of that, then you're able to deliver, right?
Yep, I totally agree. One thing that I noticed is you mentioned an avatar, 3D metaverse avatar. Are you planning to be able to use this avatar in different metaverses before your metaverse is ready?
Now you also have to. It depends on who we partner up with, obviously, and what they use, and kind of see what stage everyone's metaverses have been, because the metaverse kind of project in this space have not many of them have fully been fleshed out into a 3D virtual game.
Agree.
Or like a AAA game. The only one that is close to someone we are partnered with is like War Overlay. They have created Unreal Engine kind of 3D game already on the scratch.
We had World Overlay here a few weeks back. Very interesting project.
I love talking to James.
Do you have a partnership with them?
We have done a collab, but obviously further partnership can be discussed and can be put in the future once we have decided that this is the route we're going to go and we see each other as potential partners.
Okay, great. If I remember, the guy we spoke to was based in Singapore. Is that correct?
Yes, and so is our founder Kendrick and Lily from Singapore.
Okay. It's all tying together.
It's all tying together. It's also funny how so many founders recently that I know are from Singapore. The IO team, right? Anime Metaverse, World Overlay, and just to name a couple, a lot of big founders are situated in Singapore.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
I think
interesting to see.
especially when you're dealing with Asia, it's a great place to be. You can go travel all over Asia. There.
Any further questions from your chat?
No, I don't think at the moment. Yes. Question. I was wondering about gamification process. Is it all interaction activities and jobs, etc.? Will it be on your app on the website?
Wait, let me find that question too.
It's the second one. It's the second pinned question.
Okay. Thank you for pinning it. Okay. Okay. I was wondering about gamification process. Is it all interactive, jobs, etc. will be on your app on the website? As we said before, we're gonna have basically two version one on the website while we build a entirely different launcher and AAA game, and that we're able to all the interactions of activities and jobs and academies that we have discussed will be on the website as well, and we'll be slowly implementing them. And we'll have the majority of it already there, but we'll just be doing updates as we go to the website, as well as when we work on the AAA game or the metaverse, whichever you like to see it.
Okay. Yeah. So that's all the questions from the audience. Again, I'd like to ask you, do you have anything more that you'd like to talk about the project? Or some final words to say?
I mean, the most I can say is, come join us over at Anime Metaverse, and we hope to see you there.
Yeah, I'll say this, a lot of people, including myself, when I saw the title of the project first, back in January, early February, I was like, anime and metaverse together, two buzzwords that are kind of been used for a very long time now. In one project, I was like, and I think that's a lot of people's first impression when they see that, and also the vision built by the community for the community. It's both of those very buzzy words that can make people somewhat bearish because people are using it all over the place without really understanding what it means. Now, I truly believe that Anime Metaverse has really understand what it means because, number one, when we say owned by the community, built by the community, we've talked about how the committees, which are regular community members, how they are helping the designing team create the NFTs and set up the different traits and give proposal to what type of back traits, what type of backgrounds, what type of hair, what type of eyes. That's regular community members that has direct access to the founding team, and the founding team are listening to us. That's just an example of how it's built by the community. So we're not throwing these buzzwords out there without meaning it. And I truly think that both the framework of getting a pink list and the framework of becoming a Genesis OG just shows a little bit of why the team or how the team is building the community from the bottom. When people ask, what do you think is the most important part of a project? People say community. But if the team isn't building a framework that builds up the community is never going to magically appear. And it's obvious that the Anime Metaverse has understood this and have built the framework to build the community up. And I highly recommend you guys come just join the server and just join some of the VC chats that we have, some of the small events, or just join and hang out in the voice chats with us. The mods and the founding team and the Genesis OGs are just hanging out all the time. And it's a lot of fun. Honestly, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we have just ended about a 3-hour talk on their end to talk, to talk with regards to ideas about alpha groups and those kind of stuff, right? And just the general space in general. And we to give advice to everyone who's going into Anime Metaverse, that you might feel a little bit overwhelmed. But I think the best place to start is with the Community Pass quiz, where you are able to learn a little bit more about a project, right? To do a little bit of research, right? And we are looking for the quality members who are able to understand our vision, to understand what we're looking towards, and maybe you can come discuss your ideas in the Ideals channel, or Ideals voice channel, or Ideals channel on, to give your 2 cents about the ideas. We actively listen to your suggestions there, and do make any changes based upon it as well.
Okay, thanks to you guys, Prima and Lax Hoodie. I think that's a great way to wrap it up. I'm sure many of the nugs here are going to visit your Discord and take part in the VCs and everything. And I'd like to say thank you for coming over and telling us all about Anime Metaverse. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
If you like this AMA, reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get access to our future AMAs. You can also follow us on Twitter @NuggetsNifty, and make sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We'll see you all next time.